What's up, crazy people, and welcome back. We're jumping back into the Origin system this time. I wanted to share with you my thoughts on the new update going forward. So for those of you who are familiar with Creativerse, you would have seen, like I did, that we got a big update coming. And what comes with this update exactly, we don't actually quite know at this point, other than the fact that Creativerse is going off of a free-to-play model to a pay once, play forever type of model. So on one hand, that's really great for a lot of the older players. We're now going to have access to basically everything that we used to have to pay coins or real money to basically get. A lot of those sort of like money grabbing strategies that they were using are going to become in-game content that is available through playing the game. So that's going to be really cool to see going forward. From my side, I have no intention of stopping making videos for this game specifically. So if anyone was worried about that, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. So one big change that is going to be happening in the near future, I'm going to be branching out and looking at more diverse games, not specifically just Creativerse, and also not just your sort of survival and drafting games. And I guess I will leave it up to you guys what you'd like to see more of. I think the best way to going forward is I will post a short list, I suppose, of my Steam library, and if there's a particular game on there that you guys would like to see some content of in the future, then that is one of the games that I will basically be making my next video about. But anyway, on to the main point of what I'm making this video about, which was to showcase a couple of tricks that I learned from building this project that you've been seeing footage of up until now. This was a project started by myself and my friend Sam, who came over one night, and yeah, we just kind of took the windmill from one of the previous episodes. We did some customization and we really just played around with this paint tool that you have available in Creativerse, which up until this project I had completely not even paid any attention to. When Sam said he was going to come over to kind of just figure this out, because I was messing around with it a little bit myself as I was explaining the game to him, and I was like, wow, this is actually quite a useful feature that I really didn't take any note of up until now. But yeah, it's really pretty straightforward to use. If I go ahead, I'm just going to put down like 3 blocks of grass here, and then if you see on the bottom left hand corner you have color palette and you have paint. So if you hit full stop on the keyboard, you're going to open up this. You have the different color swatches. Now you'll notice in the bottom left hand corner here, these are sort of themes or templates that I've saved previously that I've used on this particular build. What's quite handy is all of the different colors have a name, so you can write that down, keep track of it. Maybe if you're working on something later and you want to use the same color scheme, you can do that. Left click is your primary color, so that's the top triangle here. Right click is the secondary, which is the one underneath there. So let's say we wanted to go for something kind of funky, and we went with like this black forest, right, for the top. So we've got a slightly different tone there, and let's say basically we want, like, I'm thinking like Super Mario or something like that. So once you've got it, so Black Forest, Kilimanjaro, interesting, you just click the plus there, or I believe you can click add here. Yeah. Now if I go out of this and I hold down left control, I can then use my mouse wheel to scroll across to the different templates I've created. So you've got this one, you left click to paint, right click to clear the paint. Now, so once you have paint open like this, you can scroll through your different themes. Like for example, this was from the build behind me. Left clicking will apply it to the block. Left click and hold and then drag to the next block will paint it. And you can also, I mean, it's less effective, but you can do that, I suppose. If you wanted to do bigger areas, you could sort of hold it down and run like this. And then right clicking, of course, clears it back to the original. So that's really great when it comes to something like this. So what I did with this design, as you can see, I had sort of a lot of stone that I built into the exterior, and then I just sort of messed around with the themes. So I'd literally take one like this, and that also was pretty interesting. Yeah, so you could even do like a whole tower for like each element or something. Oh man, I actually really like that. Yeah, but basically, you know, with this paint option, you really just open up a world of alternative customization. That's basically the tutorial part, and I'm just going to end off this video with a montage of the bigger build that I did, expanding out this tower that we spent one night building together, Sam and I. Yeah, and expanding it out into what actually ended up becoming this like octagon shape.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. Never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves. We won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake up to the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame.
Sorry, I'm having to speak a little bit softly. It's kind of early in the morning, and my partner's upstairs, most likely sleeping, so I don't really want to disturb her. While I was busy doing the final recording on this, I thought, let me actually just show you guys my Steam library. I think that's easier than posting a list. I'll show you guys what I have. So here we have Creativerse. I'm hoping I'm not going to get any requests for this. This is an awful game. I love it, but it's awful. So yeah, Dark Souls, Dead Island, really a classic from back in the day. Deus Ex, Human Revolution, Elder Scrolls, I'm sure people are pretty familiar with. Fallout. Far Cry 3 was actually a gift from my friend Sam that I mentioned in this episode. Let me know if you're interested in seeing some of that. I have actually not even opened up Max Payne yet, so that could be interesting to do. Prototype is a classic from sort of back in the day. This I bought for playing with my partner. We haven't played it that much. Witcher 3 I think I've only done about 6 hours in this game so far. As you guys can see, I'm a big Yu-Gi-Oh fan from back in the day. I used to play tournaments back in the day, so I really was happy when I saw that they had added a bunch of modern games with some of the new cards. Sorry, my cat is now wanting some attention. Don't eat the mic, huh? So I do have these two. I also do have that one as well, which is a fairly new game for those of you who aren't familiar, but this has like practically all of the games that are currently in the TCG, I think with the exception of 1 or 2 packs in like the most recent update, but they seem to keep updating things. For those of you familiar with sort of Yu-Gi-Oh games, what I really like about this one is it features a crafting option, so you don't need to open up thousands and thousands of packs to try and get the cards you want. So this for me was a bit of nostalgia, because one of the first games other than RuneScape that I played back in the day was Adventure Quest, which was like this browser game. I don't know how long ago they released this. I mean, I last played it in 2017, so it's been out a number of years now. Obviously, I think if you're not a fan of the previous games, then yeah, maybe not so interesting for you. Savage Lands is another crafting survival game. This is an incredible game. Really, really good. I've never finished this. There's so many games on here that I've literally just bought, downloaded, tried it out a little bit, and kind of not got that far with them. So, Dead Space, all-time favorite genre of games. Really like that game, especially all of the changes they made to like weapon customization in the third game. Let's see, Remember Me was something interesting from back in the day. I think I got to a certain point and then it was bugged, but it's been a number of years, so I'm assuming they would have fixed that by now, so that's maybe something to check out. Yeah, Warframe is a game I really enjoyed playing. I don't know if I'll ever do any videos on it. It's a little bit intense for my system. The first time I tried recording some stuff in here, I just got so much lag in the recordings that kind of figured that wasn't the way to go, but I did figure out a new way to record videos directly to my SSD, which did reduce the lag. Really awesome game. For those of you familiar with Destiny 2, this is sort of an equivalent game, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'm not very big on shooter games. Also not particularly big on sports games. Subnautica, that was the game I was trying to remember the name of. I think Subnautica just really pulled me in because I love the water. I'm very much a water baby, and there's just something about spending hours and hours under the ocean floor swimming that I just love it about this game. So there's like a real primal desire in myself that this game just fulfills. So yeah, and then apparently I have a bunch of uncategorized games here as well. I suppose it's a lot of like little games like Fallout Shelter that I played for a while. There's actually a really awesome board game of this game, which I would love to buy at some point in the future. I don't know if that's something you guys even want to see in the future. Let me know, because then I've got an excuse to do it. Anyway, in the comments, just let me know what would you guys like to see some content of.